Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shieldwall. Today we're going to take a look at the Battle of Dyrrachium. I actually went back and forth several times with whether or not to make this particular video because if you look at the forums or the Discord servers, you'll see a lot of people really do not like this mission, and the developer of the game, Nezan, has already gone on record as saying that the next update is going to change the catapult mechanics in the level. So this video is being made on the Egypt update 0.90, and as soon as the next update drops, this level should become a whole lot easier. I always start the level the same way, by spawning a handful of militia and heading straight for B. The overall strategy for this level is always the same. You are trying to get rid of the Gauls, the blue team, as quickly as possible. The best way to have that happen is for them to fight Pompey, the purple forces. Getting that to happen, though, is not always easy. In this particular case, you can see that the Gauls took D, and Pompey went over and took C. In the best case scenario, Pompey and the Gauls will meet at D and fight, or sometimes Pompey goes to F instead. Regardless, after capturing B, I make my way over to the Gauls' base at E. Probably the most important thing in this game is learning to keep your eyes in the direction of Pompey's fort so that you can always see when the catapults are coming towards you. And yes, they only target you. But if you use the cliffs and the buildings for cover, and you move as soon as you see them in the air, they are fairly easy to avoid. One way to use the catapults to your advantage is to realize that they will destroy whoever they hit, including Pompey's own forces. So if you do have to engage in a battle away from the shelter of the buildings or walls, one thing you can try and do is to keep the enemy forces directly in between you and Pompey's fort so that the catapults will do as much damage to the enemy attacking you as to your troops. And, as in every Shieldwall mission, you want to fight on your terms close to your flag so that you can spawn the reinforcements. While I've been going at it with the Gauls over here, you can see that Pompey went and captured D, which leaves the Gauls with E as their only spawn point. Again, this is why we fight by our own flag, so that we can spawn reinforcements. You may also have noticed that the catapult did in fact take out a bunch of the blue troops there. And once this battle is over, I will head over to D and see if I can take care of that. The blue team has respawned its army and has the same idea, but they don't seem to realize that Pompey is taking their remaining flag at E. So if we can win this fight, they will have nowhere left to spawn. That is looking increasingly unlikely, though. But if I can pull them away and lead them back to E, I can respawn my army and take care of them. Unfortunately, they did capture D, but with only that flag, they shouldn't be too difficult to finish off. Another thing you may notice is that I have taken no upgrades. That is because I am using all of my gold to spawn troops until the Gauls are defeated. When you do pause to restock your army, staying by the buildings keeps you safe from the catapults. You can see, oh, that guy wasn't quite fast enough. But yeah, you want to use the buildings and the walls to your advantage. And look at that. Pompey came over to D while we were respawning troops and defeated the Gauls. So now it's just the two armies, Pompey and Caesar. At this point, my strategy shifts, and we are going to be focused on capturing D and F. And I will be spawning 5 defenders at each of those flags. I like to use this rocky outcropping right outside of D to park my militia so that I can go back and check. And you can see that defender on the left hand side of the screen has moved into an attack pose, which means that Pompey's forces are, yep, coming around the corner there. So before we go take F, we're going to defend D. I will move over to this outcropping and call my troops over to me, again so that we're using the wall as much as possible to protect us from the catapults. And we can spawn because we have this flag captured. And we defeat Pompey's troops. Make sure I have my 5 defenders back. And then we head over to F. I park my troops here again. Wait for the catapults. And we hug the wall as we make our way over towards F. And then we rush over to the building. And then we run out and try and capture it. You're gonna lose some troops there. Unfortunately, Pompey went back and attacked D while I was doing this. That can happen, but usually the defenders slow him down enough. So I'm gonna go back to D, but before I do, I spawn my 5 defenders. And now we rush back and quickly recapture D. Ow! See, I didn't pay attention to the catapults. And with D captured, we'll spawn our 5 defenders. So now we have a total of 10 defenders, 5 at D, 5 at F. I park my troops at that rocky outcropping, and I move back here, and you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, whoops, wrong button. No, Pompey is attacking F, so I'm going to run over there, hugging the walls, and help my defenders defeat this army. Just keep an eye on the number of militia you have and respawn as necessary. Don't allow them to chase after Pompey's forces if they start to withdraw. I'm going to just go ahead now and upgrade the number of units so I can spawn slightly larger armies, since 10 of my slots are taken up by defenders. And then we'll just repel this second attack. I'm not entirely sure why the catapult is firing over there. Oh, okay, it's firing back at me. Alright, we've defeated Pompey's army. Here I've got my 10 defenders. Now I will run over here and park. Oh! Yeah, I lost track of the catapult. But what I was trying to say is that you grab your army and you park it right behind this building. Nice and close. And they are safe there. Okay, Pompey isn't coming this way. You can see the catapult ricocheted off the wall, like I said, keeping your guys safe. And now I can start to focus on the upgrades. I'm almost at 450, which is what you need for the standard and then the standard sign. And I think I'm going to choose increased gold this time. Flag capture speed is another really good choice here for when you get into the fort. But right now I think the goal to replenish my troops is going to help out a little bit more. So at this point the mission becomes mostly about defending D and F while accumulating gold and upgrades so that you can attack the fort and defeat Pompey's forces. Running out in front of them like this and throwing spears at them slows them down and really helps your defenders whittle them down quite a bit before they charge, and then you bring in your troops. And these battles become pretty routine. Another thing to keep in mind is that Pompey's forces will not leave the fort if the gate is smashed. So I like to periodically form an army, run up, and smash the gates. They'll probably get slaughtered, and if they do get in, they definitely will get slaughtered. But it keeps Pompey's forces occupied and away from the other flags. It will definitely take a few tries, but eventually this process of defending and attacking the gates will allow you to push through. Just remember, when you respawn, run over here behind the building, hold, and then spawn your army. This will protect the majority of your troops from the catapults while you assemble. Then, once you're ready, launch your attack from there. Zigzagging, changing direction, helps throw the catapults off somewhat. And when you get into the fort with a sizable force, what you want to do, use the tents here as cover and try and pull the army away from the flag so that your guys can run in and get that flag down as quickly as possible. And it's just a race. And once you have that flag, it's over. The catapult begins working for you, and then it's just mop-up duty. You've got to clear out the remaining defenders, and then you also have to run out and take C. Thankfully, the catapult helps whittle down any troops that they spawn at C. Probably the most important thing about this mission to remember is that it's frustrating. It's a hard mission. You're gonna lose sometimes. I have won using this strategy many times, but I've also lost. And there's no shame in that. This is a battle that Caesar did in fact lose. So we're changing history by doing this. As I said at the beginning of the video, the developer has already said that he is going to change the catapult mechanics, the accuracy and the speed of their firing. So don't get discouraged. And if you do, you can always wait till the next patch comes out. It makes it a little easier. But you can definitely do this. If you play smart, only fight on your own terms and use the ground to your advantage, the natural protection afforded by these cliffs, and don't just maneuver in straight lines. And honestly, you need a few breaks. The mission hinges on getting rid of the Greeks as early as possible, so if Pompey's forces help you do that, it makes a huge difference. I've won this mission in 13 minutes, but more frequently I've had to settle for winning on points and not capturing the fort. It's a tough mission. Hopefully this video will help you get through it one way or another. If it does, please give us a like. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. It really helps us out. And we will be back soon with more Shieldwall videos for you. Thanks for watching.